Hello, one and all of you to the channel. It's been a couple weeks since I've last done anything. And yesterday was International Men's Day. That's usually always a hotbed topic for the news, so why not come back then? And it was actually pretty good. I didn't find out until about 5:30 when I was leaving work that it was actually International Men's Day. And the news was pretty good. I didn't really find much of the usual crap that says, you know, we don't need International Men's Day, every day is International Men's Day. But I did manage to find one article, an opinion piece from The Independent. This International Men's Day, us men have some demands, starting with making half our MPs male. It's from James Moore. And I mean, Jesus Christ. Look at the guy. That should really tell you everything. I'm not attacking his character. I'm sure he's quite the bloke, but you know. Yeah, you know what I'm talking about. If you're new to the realm, you could be forgiven for thinking that this person was sort of being realistic. It's not until about like a third of the way down that you kind of entirely twig that, yeah, this is indeed a man taking the piss. You'll see what I mean as we go into it. So he starts, Happy International Men's Day. Before you haters, you feminazis, is that how Rush Limbaugh spells it? Can he spell? Good one. Pinkos, I've never heard of that, tree huggers, no one's used that in years, and other ingrates start comparing it to International Dry Cleaning Day or International Sparkling Water Day. In terms of relevance, I've got news for you. This is about more than simply letting blokes be blokes for once. They're about giving us one day a year where we can do things we never normally get a chance to do, like watching sports, drinking beer, eating burgers, talking about women we fancy, you know, manly things. It starts off pretty well. This is about more than simply letting blokes be blokes. Correct. I'm sure it's used to highlight like this high suicide rate, the dropout rate of universities, how they're succeeding less in schools, the homeless crisis, you know, the talking points that just normally get swept under the rug. But then the second half just completely abandons all of that by saying, by having a chance to do things we never normally get a chance to do, like drinking beer and whatnot. You're taking the piss there, aren't you, James? You know you're taking the piss. That's not what it's for. The second article isn't much better. First off, we want 50% MPs in the House of Commons to be men. We're usually opposed to quotas, but the underrepresentation of men in the Mother of Parliament needs to end now. It's quite obviously a joke. To my knowledge, I don't believe anybody is campaigning to have quotas of 50% men in Parliament. In fact, if we look here, now, Julia Banks calls for gender quotas in Parliament. So really, is this projection, James? Are you projecting? Because I was like a very easy search for MP quotas 2018 popped up with this lovely little article. So maybe do like a little bit of actual journalism before projecting your stupid ideas. He continues this ridiculous tirade by saying we also demand half of the dictatorships in FTSE 100 and the FTSE 250. All that much. A quick little search. Half of the UK's biggest energy companies have all male boards, sparking calls by industry watchers for quotas to bring more women into the boardroom. Again, you're saying men do this. It is in fact the opposite. He then goes on to talk about the courts. I'm sure he's going to be talking about the fact that in the courts men get harsher sentences for the same crime. They lose most of the custody battles. Let's have a little look here. I did a little bit of a typo there, James, we'll pass that. Don't let's forget the courts while we're at it. More male judges and QCs would surely put a stop to a man getting bracked by feminazi barristers over their sexual history and having what they wore on the night they got assaulted picked over to show how it served as a provocation. Okay, so not at all what I thought. Everybody probably already knows this, but I'm just going to clear this up for James because he clearly doesn't. When the judges, when the courts, when the police ask about what you were wearing, it's so they can pick you out in CCTV. The quality of those cameras isn't that great yet, and so being able to find something you were wearing and then track that is a lot easier than just saying, I'm the white chick with blonde hair. There's probably a million of those. James, how can you know? This is very basic stuff. Jesus Christ. It's at this point when he begins to show his true colours. I mean, it was thinly veiled anyways. I don't believe anybody actually would follow along with what he was saying. At this point, there are some people who will have blown a gasket. When they've calmed down a bit, they'll compose tweets describing me and the Independent as a shit rag, like the Risby named English Patriot who responded that way. I had the gall to point out the economic consequences of Brexit. Or even worse. Completely unrelated, James. Completely unrelated. You can point out the economic consequences of Brexit. There probably will be economic consequences. You're shitting on International Men's Day for no apparent reason, just because I guess you want to get a few more pussy points. But there will also be some more thoughtful and intelligent types who might say, okay, I get it, but men still have issues. Too many kill themselves or have mental health problems. Prostate cancer is really nasty. It is pretty nasty. It does kill quite a few men, but we'll get on to that. He then gives a little story about how his family has dealt with these matters and goes on to say, so I tell you what, let's have a suicide prevention day. Again, James, just a tiny bit of journalism and you would have found that there already is a World Suicide Prevention Day and it's on the 10th of September. So honestly, James, what are you trying to say here? We shouldn't have International Men's Day because we need an International Suicide Day, but we already have a World Suicide Day? Seriously, you're supposed to, I know this is only an opinion piece, but you are still supposed to be a journalist. Do you not have fact-checking habits? I would have, oh no, never mind, I forgot, yeah, this is the mainstream media. He then dittos this with prostate cancer, which has been moving up the agenda. However, it's interesting that it did so in part courtesy of the Mail juxtaposing its funding with the money breast cancer gets, as if it was a scandal that breast cancer gets such a lot of attention and not simply that prostate cancer needs more attention. They are both horrible diseases, so how about we tackle both instead of making it about one versus the other? Agreed, they are both terrible, it shouldn't be one or the other, but you have to ask the question. Now, I wasn't able to get more recent results, but I went to Cancer Research UK and I managed to find the total number of deaths that they were able to record for breast cancer in 2016, which was 11,563. Comparing this with the total number of deaths, again from Cancer Research UK, regarding prostate cancer for 2016, and that was 11,631. So that's 68 more people who died of prostate cancer in 2016. Now, if we compare this with the funding that they got, we see breast cancer got 44.9 million and prostate cancer got 22.1 million. Almost half the amount of funding that breast cancer got, and there were 68 more deaths. It's not a competition, it's really not. I think everybody will agree they're both terrible, but that's almost double the amount of funding. Quite a staggering number. It's not just a couple thousand more or a couple million more, it's almost double. But prostate cancer has more victims, at least from 2016 from Cancer Research UK. So James, again, the tiniest bit of research and you could have prevented this little fuck up from happening. Now you look like an idiot. And his final few paragraphs are just absolute shit. Again, it's just more projecting. Talking about how men use these figures to throw sticks at International Women's Day and feminists and whatnot. We can wear what we want when we go out without having to worry about creeps in dark alleys and people telling us we asked for it when they attacked. You're just projecting once again, you're just peddling the same stereotypes, the same sound bites that we hear every single year, James, just to try and grasp onto a few more pussy points. We have it pretty good. Sure, we have some issues, like the massive amounts of us that die from prostate cancer, the majority of homeless people being men, mental health issues, workplace accidents. I could go on, but yeah, we only have some issues that need addressing. But they pale by comparison. Those of us with an X and a Y chromosome and who are grown up and honest with ourselves know that. Well, James Moore, seriously, you've done no research whatsoever here. You're just peddling the same crap over and over again. Well, anyways, that was just my little rant. I thought, why not? Why not? International Men's Day was yesterday, and we do always get a lot of crap like this. Thank you for watching. It's been a pleasure and a privilege to haunt you this evening.